Brats that want to take my property and me, and I don't want them. That's what I said. I'd like them put in jail for even trying to give me a bad time. The sooner the better.
Well, they petitioned the court for guardianship of you, so that you would have to live with them.
Why does the court do that when I don't have rights? Why don't I have rights?
It's just the law.
The law?
The law says that if somebody has guardianship of you, then you don't have rights.
Why do they have guardianship of me?
Well, they don't yet. They've petitioned the court, apparently.
But what gives them the right to have guardianship of me?
Well, the judge would give them the right. The judge would decide who has guardianship of you.
Is there a judge down here that can give me some guardianship?
Maybe, but the judge up in Washington that decided not to give the restraining order against the people that keep taking you is the same one that's going to make the decision, probably. She said probably the same judge that's going to make the decision of who gets to be your guardian.
That's not right. That's thievery.
Well,
that should be against the law.
She wants you to go back up to Washington and talk to the guardian ad litem.
Who wants me to?
The judge wants you to go back up there and talk to the guardian ad litem, but she did say that you can choose where you live.
I don't want to go up there if they're going to judge and take my home away and put me with other people on that state, which they shouldn't have the right to do.
I agree, but...
Well, that's what I'd like to tell the judge.
That...
And I'd like to get it in a newspaper all over the world to what's going on, so it doesn't happen to other people.
So,
it should be illegal.
It's literally happening right now. There is a singer that they put guardianship on her, and I'm not sure how old she is anymore because I'm getting old. But they put guardianship on her, and she's been trying to get free of her guardianship. And it's been all over the news. But I don't think there's been anything in the news about it happening to old people.
If it's guardianship's okay, can you get guardianship on me down here?
I don't know if they'll allow it. Again, it's up to a judge. A judge is going to make that decision.
Well, if I talk to the judge about it down here and said I'd rather have you have it so that I have my free rights instead of what they're doing to me and to protect me from the ones that are trying to take over, and I ask the judge too, and you go too, wouldn't that work?
I think we would still have to notify them, and they would get to bring their attorney to tell them to fight for them. I mean, he's not been recently licensed in California, but he originally was licensed in California, so he could probably pass the bar.
Get something against them and get rid of them.
No, that's what happened today. Was they tried to get a restraining order to protect you from them, and the judge dismissed it.
Wait a minute. Pat and Gal tried to?
Yeah, Pat tried to get a restraining order to protect you from Kim and Teresa, and the judge dismissed it.
Well, somebody ought to shoot the judge.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say.
I don't care, but it's the truth.
I think that might be excessive. I wouldn't shoot the judge. She's in a bad situation trying to make a decision, and that's why these things are so difficult.
Is a woman?
Yeah.
Well, she can drop dead as far as I'm concerned.
Well, she did ask you, and you told her you were confused about what was going on. Now, by the end of...
She asked me?
She asked you if you understood what was happening at the beginning of the trial, and you didn't. By the end of the trial, you understood what was happening because you'd heard everybody talk.
And what did I say to her then?
That you didn't get to talk to her at the end of the trial.
I don't even remember the trial.
I know, because your short-term memory is crap. So because your memory is bad, they assume that you can't make decisions for yourself, which are two totally unrelated issues.
A bunch of lies.
Well,
I don't want anything to do with them, especially what they're trying to do to me. And I wanted to go back to my home. They're just trying to steal my property. They don't care about me. If they cared about me, they wouldn't have pulled something like that on me. And I'd like that proven in court. Can we get some kind of something against them on a trial?
Well, we've got to an open case in Grays Harbor County for the theft of the computers, but the police won't do anything.
Why?
Because they said that Teresa and Tim and Kim could say that you gave them permission to steal my computers out of the house. And I
Just
said,
because they can say that it's true?
well, and I said,
How about if we
well,
go on lie detector tests?
I know, but they don't do lie detector. They need to do lie detector tests.
They should do lie detector
I know,
tests.
because they're lying. I believe me, I know.
Well, the police should insist on that.
I know. They made me homeless for a month because
They
they lied, because they wanted to snatch you out of the house. I am acutely aware of how easy it is to lie in court. And their attorney's wife even said, everybody lies in court, to Tammy. That's the attorney's wife. She's the one that was the horrible trustee for Tammy.
There's nobody that can go against the lying laws.
No, apparently evil's winning right now, hon. I'm sorry about that.
I wish they'd drop dead.
That would be certainly more affordable.
That
but,
would be wonderful.
I understand why you're saying that, and that you don't really want them dead.
Stealing my home.
I know you don't want them dead. I know you just want them to stop harassing you.
I want a lawyer to defend me and my property and get rid of them out of my life. That's what I want. If we could get a good lawyer that could do that and cut their throats like they're cutting mine.
We cannot afford an attorney. Not even a crappy one.
We got to find a way to do it.
Well, I don't think either one of us would make very good prostitutes.
What's that mean?
To earn money for an attorney, I think that would be one desperate dude.
No, but I would think some decent lawyer would want to protect somebody and their rights, that they ought to have rights.
I agree.
This place is full of ants.
I know, honey. So anyway, is that all you want to tell the judge and the world about how you feel about things?
I want to be rid of them. That's what I want.
Who do you want to be rid of?
Teresa and her whoever's doing all this. It's Teresa and who?
Well, I don't want to coach you on how you feel.
Teresa and who?
I don't want to coach you. I'm trying to get it just to be from you.
Won't tell me who's doing what?
Well, it's we again, Pat filed to get restraining orders to protect you from them. And
he couldn't get it?
No, he couldn't get it. And he even submitted evidence, like actual. Hold on.
Why didn't he tell me that?
He did. And you talked to him.
I don't remember him.
I know, because memory is your problem. Dealing with accurate information, not your problem.
I didn't realize they had control over me.
And then you did a declaration.
What's this?
Here, let me show you that.
I don't know what you're showing me.
I should be careful about putting the checks on there because there's account numbers.
Okay, I don't understand.
No. This.
What? Where I paid things to
Loans.
Kim?
Look in the memo line.
And what do you mean the memo line? Okay, wait a minute. Loan for what? Loan for their home?
Yeah, you paid the closing costs for their townhouse that they no longer have. Look at the date.
What's bad about that? I don't get it.
They haven't paid it back. They lost the house. They didn't make any payments on the house.
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about what they're doing to me.
That is. They borrowed $9,000 from you and didn't pay it back because they knew you'd forget.
Oh, they borrowed the money so they could steal my home?
No. We don't loan them money anymore because they don't pay it back. So now they
want my home.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is what I should show to a court that's defending me from them.
Yeah, so that was given to the court today. That was given to the court with Pat's
Pat,
petition. Pat petitioned to get a restraining order
because he
against
knows
them.
what they're doing.
Right, and the court decided to dismiss the case and not give you a restraining order against them.
Oh, why?
Because
What
apparently $9,000 in canceled checks was not enough to show that they were taking advantage of you.
That they're taking my home?
Well, they're not taking your home yet.
They're taking my rights?
No. Here they took loans out and didn't pay you back. There's a separate case that has been filed for Kim and Tim to get guardianship of you, in which case you would move in with them.
No. No, I won't. I'd run away. I won't. I don't want anything to do with them. I'd like them in jail. And that's what I want the courts to know.
But the courts don't have a way to put them in jail for anything that they've done. I mean, unless the police...
Why don't the courts protect me?
The laws are written in an attempt to
rights?
protect people. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
The laws don't protect people like me?
Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. It depends because humans are human. So it's up to their judgment. That's why there's judges who make judgments. And today the judge said no restraining order. They can come into contact with you anytime.
He ought to be put in jail himself.
And that's not a criminal offense to put her in jail for making a judgment.
Well, I'd sure like to tell her a thing off.
Well...
I hope she drops dead.
No, you don't. That's
Yes, I
not
do.
nice.
It is nice if she's doing something like that to me.
She probably doesn't know what's true, and she had stacks of...
She didn't care either.
No, I think on some level she cared. She just didn't see through what happened, and she's upset that I took you out of state so that you would, I mean, we didn't get our vacation last year.
Why didn't I have a right to go out of state?
I know. Last year we were going to go down the Oregon coast and stop by Christopher's on the way down to see the big trees again because you really liked seeing the big trees. But then you weren't physically up to it by the time we got you back from Teresa keeping you. And so this is the first time you're physically up to it. You do have a kidney stone, but we got you to the doctors, really good doctors that are going to get it out of you.
So what are they trying to do? Say, get rid of Tanya and we're going to take over?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to tell the court, drop dead.
Wow.
I don't want anything to do with them. Does Pat and Gail know what this is doing to me?
Yeah, I think they do. That's why they were there. But you did... So they were also upset because, let's see, this one's mine. The judge was also upset because I typed this up for you, and then you signed it. And I guess they think that you can't read. I don't know, but...
What do you mean?
But because I typed this up for you, your declaration, you can start here. Read it and tell me if you do or do not agree with it, which I've had you do a gazillion
Well, I wanted
times.
to live in my own home, but I
Right.
didn't know I wanted them to take charge of me.
Right. But this is what you gave to the court. This is what we sent to the court.
My brother Patrick, to help my daughter Tanya move home to help take care of me. So this is all saying what I would like.
I know. Go ahead and read, because this is what we gave to the judge.
And they both, okay, this is why I added Pat to the deed. Wait a minute.
Start at the beginning and just read it and tell me if there's something you disagree
I want
with.
to live in my home as long as I'm alive. I asked my brother Patrick Martin Carper, petitioner, to help my daughter Tanya Johnson move home to help care for me as I age. They both take good care of me and I trust them. This is why I added Pat to the deed of my land.
Is that all true?
What do you mean, is that all true?
Well, because again, they were upset that I did the typing and you didn't.
Oh. To guarantee my right to live there for the rest of my life, and why I chose Pat to be the executor of my will, created more than 20 years ago, and why I appointed Pat and my daughter Tanya to be my attorneys in fact. I know they will protect me without trying to control me. So, I do not want Kimberly Ann Cassidy or her husband, to have control of my physical... Now, why can't I have these rights?
I don't know. Again,
These legal rights.
Kimberly's attorney, Dan, keeps pointing out that I'm the one typing up all the documents for people to sign. It's like I have a computer and I'm comfortable with it.
What
and these people are old.
What documents?
Like this one. I typed this up, but it was based on what you wanted. I asked you for days what you wanted, and then I typed it up and I had you read it.
And get a big thing against them.
Well, that's literally what happened today, and they denied the restraining orders.
Why?
They didn't see a reason. They didn't think that you had been hurt.
I didn't have any rights?
Right. They didn't see any...
The court doesn't think I have rights.
Well, they didn't see any reason to protect you from Teresa and Kim. They didn't think it was bad that Kim borrowed $9,000 and didn't return it.
What kind of law is that?
I don't know.
Well,
they had the proof of it, though.
I'd like to get a thing in the newspaper of what they're doing to me. I mean the court. I'd like it out to everybody to see what's going on so they can be on guard of who's the law and get rid of a law that's doing something like that.
I know.
I'd like to tell them off right. I wish they were shot dead. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's not a nice thing to say.
I don't care. They have no rights to take me and change my life. I have rights. I should have right for what I want. What right do they have to say that?
I know.
No, it says Patrick Martin Crawford. He didn't back him, did he?
Yeah, no, Pat filed a restraining order against Kim and Tim, and then he filed another one over here against Teresa. And this was your response to it for the judge from here down and then on the next page.
Oh, I declare I want to live in my home as long as I live. I asked my brother Patrick to help my daughter Tanya move home to help care for me. They both take good care of me. This is why. Why doesn't this have any effect?
I don't know. Keep reading.
I don't have any rights?
Keep reading. This is what was given to the judge.
And they still back Teresa?
Yeah, this is what was given to the judge. Read it.
The judge ought to be put in jail.
I know. Well, I don't know about that, but read it for the camera, what you gave to the judge. But I typed for you, God forbid.
Which part did I... You mean this?
Yeah, right up here, all the way down in the next page.
I want to live in my home as long as I'm alive. I asked my brother Patrick Martin Crawford, petition to help my daughter Tanya Johnson move home to help care for me as I age. They both take good care of me and I trust them. This is why I added Pat to the deed of my land to guarantee my right to live there for the rest of my life, and why I chose Pat to be executor of my will, created more than 20 years ago, and why I appointed Pat and my daughter Tanya to be my attorneys in fact. I know they will protect me without trying to control me. I do not want Kimberly Ann Cassidy, your husband's email or WhatsApp, to have control of my physical. But if I have this, what...
Keep reading.
Well, I already know what it says. So
no, you got to get to the next page, so just keep reading. This is what you submitted to the judge.
Then, to have control of my physical, emotional, financial, or spiritual well-being, and I don't want to be alone with them. I don't even want them to know where I am. They can write to me in a post office box if approved by the court.
Well, they approved a lot more.
I will try to write back. I want everything that was taken from our home to be returned. They've already taken stuff.
Yeah.
And everything that has been loaned, money, work, equipment, clothes, to be returned. I hope that one day before it's too late, they will learn what they have given up. I don't love them anymore. But I'm sad that they don't love or respect me enough to care about what I need. So to be perfectly clear, I'm completely aware and in agreement with what I am signing. I still want Pat Crawford and Tanya Johnson to be my attorneys in fact, and act together for my well-being. Under no circumstances do I want anyone to be my guardian now that I am aware I would lose my right to vote. I have just as much right to vote and live in my house as President Biden has to vote and live in the White House. Please stop trying to take away my freedom. I'm not incompetent. I am forgetful. I am perfectly capable of making wise decisions when I'm not being lied to. I do not want James Warrior, Kimberly Warrior, Sheriff Cassidy, etc., or Christopher Warrior, or their mother to even speak with any of my medical professionals ever or make any medical decisions. Am I clear?
So do you disagree with any of that?
No, I don't disagree with that. I want my rights. And they
Okay.
shouldn't have rights over me.
All right. Because they said that it wasn't okay because I typed that for you. And you signed it instead of you typing it.
I would like to say it in court.
They were supposed to let you say it in court and they didn't. But
Well, they should let me.
I know.
And I'd like to get it, who wouldn't let me? What judge wouldn't let me?
She was pressed for time. She did ask you if you knew why we were here today, and it was at the beginning of court rather than at the end. And
because I'd like a thing against her that I didn't have any rights.
she did try, but at the beginning you didn't know why we were there because you hadn't heard everybody talking.
No, I didn't know I was being robbed.
It probably would have been better if she'd asked you toward the end after you heard everybody speak so you could know what was going on and make a decision.
I don't remember hearing them speaking about taking my rights away.
Well, it did come up because they kept interjecting the guardianship case into the restraining order case.
You mean Teresa and them?
Dan and Pat kept, Dan, Teresa and Kim's attorney, and Pat kept talking about the guardianship case instead of talking about the restraining order case, which I don't understand. Again, I have a hard time understanding why
You mean
not borrowing $9,000 from someone who doesn't remember.
Pat back Teresa?
No, Pat backed you.
Oh.
But I don't understand how borrowing $9,000 with no intention of returning it because you know your grandma forgets things isn't financial exploitation. But
You mean because of what they've done?
yeah, that's disgusting.
I'm not interested in the money. I'm interested in getting rid of them.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, even when I would send you, like Kim would come pick you up, I'd give her $20, which it did not at that time take for gas. Now it might. $20 for gas and food and whatever, and she would hang out with you all day, and then you'd come home and your purse was empty. And she'd be like, oh, yeah, we went to Burger King for lunch. And I'm like, and Grandma bought lunch. Really? I gave you $20 for gas and food, which was more than enough for gas and food for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they took you to the beach, I sent food with you. It came back, food and drink. It came back uneaten.
Well,
so
But
I've got my own feelings.
But that's the past. Right now, the present is this, and I don't want to be with them at all. And I want somebody to guard me against them and take away the things that are taken away from me, and getting them back to me, my belongings, and I don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah.
And I should have my rights. They don't have the right to do this to me. And you and Patton then can back me.
Yeah. Well, we tried that today.
And probably get some more people. No, I mean in court.
I know. No, we tried that today in court, and it got dismissed.
Where was I?
Sitting right here. You didn't get to talk much. I got to talk very fast. As usual, I talk very fast.
Over the phone, not in court?
Over the internet, yeah.
And they won't back me.
No, they dismissed it.
Why?
Because I guess there wasn't enough evidence. $9,000 in checks, unpaid, but not enough evidence of financial exploitation. And because they have a bunch of bank statements showing we bought groceries.
I'd like to get a big thing in the newspaper about them and let everybody hear and read it.
I know. But they had a stack of your bank statements showing how your bank account has dwindled. And yet, I guarantee you, I haven't looked at the bank statements, but I know what we've spent money on. And I even told Adult Protective Services, it's like hardware stores, grocery stores, craft stores, Dollar Tree, gasoline, bills, the standard bills.
What does that have to
but
do with
that's well, because they've got a stack of stuff that's actual living expenses compared to a bunch of canceled checks for loans that weren't paid back.
That loans that I did to them, you mean?
That you gave loans to Kimberly and Tim.
And didn't get back.
And didn't get back. That wasn't enough evidence to show financial abuse. But somehow, and I think they did that because, they turned in like a stack this thick, an inch thick of your bank statements, but your bank statements don't show anything weird on them.
Well, I need a good lawyer, and you know what? I would like to not only have a lawyer who defends me and gets rid of them, I'd like it in the newspapers all over about them.
Well, if we could find a lawyer that would not only defend you against this, but also defend all seniors against this kind of behavior so that they're more protected, because guardianship is not protection. It's not protection. When you lose your right to vote, that's your constitutional right to vote. They don't, and you haven't committed a crime.
How did they get my guardianship?
They haven't yet, but they're petitioning to get your guardianship. And if someone becomes your guardian, the judge was wrong. She said you don't lose your right to vote. You absolutely do. I looked it up.
Can you give my right to Pat?
So we need a constitutional attorney that wants to take this on also, that will fight for all seniors, because a third of the population is over 60. Because the baby boomers, and this is going to affect a lot of people.
Well, can I even get Pat on my rights?
Pat is on your side.
No, I mean legally.
So
Get Pat on it legally.
Pat, you gave Pat and I power of attorney, which gives the same rights as guardianship. The difference is you don't lose rights. So there's no reason for guardianship. The power of attorney is the safest bet for a senior, not guardianship. Guardianship is not good for senior citizens, period.
So how do I get saved from them?
We're going to try and find an attorney. We're going to take this video and we're going to put it on YouTube, and we're going to see if there's any attorneys out there. We're going to plaster it all over the internet and see if there's an attorney out there that will help you, because we can't afford them.
Is there an attorney that could also get them in jail for what they're doing?
Well, I don't know if there's an attorney that can. I mean, the stolen computers, it would just be nice if the Grays Harbor Sheriff's Department would go pick them up from them and get them returned, even if they don't arrest somebody for stealing them.
My computer.
Even though they're stolen, and even if they said that you gave permission to remove them from the house, you're not with them anymore, and you haven't been with them for weeks. So
when did I give them my computer?
Well, again, I don't think you did give them permission. But even if you gave them permission, when they returned you, they should have returned everything they believed to be your things. And yet somehow the 3 computers never made it.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with that. It's just like them stealing the cat. I finally got the cat back, but and the ugly artwork Teresa did for you, they gave that back. So all the other things that weren't computers, they gave back. But the sheriff's department is like, well, we don't know if they really stole them. It's like, well, I didn't consent to have them taken, and they're not in my house. And they disappeared at the same time as the cat and the ugly painting, which were returned by them. So one was more difficult to get back than the other one.
Well,
but
Pat will go to court with me, of course.
Yeah, but
Does he know how bad this is?
Yes, he knows how bad this is.
The
judge gave you
so
one
mad.
out.
I wish we could not only go to court, I wish we could get a written up thing how awful they were and what they were trying to do.
The judge,
to take advantage.
The judge gave you one out, and that is, she said, you have a right to choose where you live. So if you want to choose to live out of her jurisdiction, you can, and then they can't.
How far away do I have to go to do that?
We'd have to look into that. But maybe find a state where you have more rights and where there's an attorney that will defend you. Maybe there's an attorney out there that wants to help you.
You mean in this state?
And protect you anywhere. And they just need jurisdiction.
Well, if we can find somebody that can protect me from them. But I want more in protection. I'd like to have something against them.
Well, again, they stole 3 computers out of the house and they were mine. So they had no legal right to remove them from the house.
And can you get something against them?
Again, the cop doesn't seem to want to do anything. I sent a message to his supervisor, and I'm waiting to hear back. If he doesn't get back to me, I have the phone number of the sheriff. And if he doesn't get back to me, then that's going to be all over the news when he tries to get reelected. So I'm trying.
What kind of a cop is he?
Well, again, I think he's just lazy. But we'll see. I was very disappointed because I've not had I've actually usually had very good experiences with the Grays Harbor Sheriff's Department.
Rights against Teresa. I wish she was in jail.
Well, it's not just Teresa. It's Kim, too.
Well, Kim's her daughter.
I know.
Them.
Yeah. I feel bad for the
Teresa
boys
and
believing.
her family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like the rights against their family. And I want to be protected from them.
I know.
Can I get a lawyer that'll help protect me from them?
Well, that's why we're doing this video. We're going to put it out on the internet. We're going to see if there's somebody out there that will help you.
To protect me from what they're trying to do
protect
to me.
you.
And
To
get
protect
it out
your
to the world
rights.
to know what,
Yeah.
who they are and how awful they are.
Well, and not just protect your rights, but protect the rights of all seniors. Because, again, there's a lot of people over 60 now that are considered seniors because of the baby boomers. And this could be happening to people everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just Britney Spears. So, because she's a singer, that's happening
They don't
too.
have the right to take my rights away.
No. And again, just because you have a bad memory doesn't mean you make bad decisions. It just means you have a bad memory.
Well.
And
So do they at times.
And for the record, your money is yours.
Yeah.
It's not their inheritance.
Well,
It's not my inheritance.
mine,
Your
too.
property is yours. It's not my inheritance. It's not Teresa's inheritance. And if Pat inherits it because we added him to the deed so you could live there the rest of your life, then so be it. So be it. He's certainly done enough for you that he has every right to inherit that property.
Well, we have a right to cut their throats, too.
He's done a heck of a lot more for you than even I have or Teresa has.
Yeah, but...
So I don't care.
Well, what I care about is what they're doing to me, so I don't want them to get one penny from me. That's how I feel.
Well,
I'm serious. The fact that she'd do something like that to me,
I know.
I don't want to. I want to get rid of her. And I want the court to help me get rid of her.
I know.
So,
They tried to use the fact that you have tons of stuff in your house. That, oh, no, it's unfit. It's like you've always had tons of stuff in your house.
and I have a right to have tons of stuff
Yeah,
in
but
my
it's your
house.
stuff and it's your house.
In my rights.
And it's not like you can't get through the house. A wheelchair can get down the hallway from the. You can get from the couch all the way down the hallway to the bathroom. You can get in a wheelchair, not just walking.
And it's my home, and I
I
have my
know.
rights anyway.
I know. I totally get it.
I not only want to go to court against them, I'd like to have a newspaper thing against them.
I know.
And how awful they are.
I know.
And I hope I get a good lawyer that could do that. But I don't know where.
I don't either. So we're going to put this on YouTube and we're going to hope people share it with everyone they know. And so that if someone they know or someone they know that they know, someone that knows lawyers will look at it and see it, because jurisdiction's not an issue. We are looking to move. We will move to any jurisdiction if we can afford it, just to get you safe with a lawyer that will stick up for
I want to
you
be safe from them, and I want my private property.
and live happily ever after.
I want my belongings to be safe from them, too.
I understand. And if we were to move somewhere else, and again, the judge says you can choose where you live, we would get the belongings and move them to the new residence.
Does it have to be a new state?
Well, technically where they filed isn't your jurisdiction anyway, so I don't think, like, they filed in Thurston County and you don't live in Thurston County. So I don't know how that works, but
Where do I